icy blasts could cause trees to explode. But is that true?
What's with the sixes?
When you blink, I'm LeBron James, hello.
Y'all seen Guy Fieri? Ain't no way the mayor of Flavortown unflavored all himself.
I don't even hear what you're saying right now because your face is driving me nuts.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to another Bryce Is Right. I hope y'all have all had a great FreeKin weekend. Hopefully y'all stayed warm, dry, and safe. I know it's a little crazy, a little slippery, but that's what you got me for. I'm here to try and entertain you a little bit. You know, I said that I was going to do smaller, shorter form content, but we'll get there. Anyways, y'all know what time it is. It's time to dive down deep into some of the creepiest and freakiest videos I could find in the deepest, darkest corners of TikTok. And nah, these aren't ordinary videos. They're going to be blowing your mind, making your head spin, and having you question your reality. But of course, before we get started, let's go ahead and smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't, so you don't miss out on any future content, and please leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Let us know what's up. Other than that, let's go ahead and dive right in, y'all. Let's get it. Let's get it. Man, you better hope you're renting.
No, ow. You got like warm water and...
A fork!
Yeah, no.
You know it's hard out here, boy. That seemed like a...
Oh! Brooke, go somewhere.
20.
Where the fuck do you want me to go? In the water, I don't fucking know. Come on!
Damn, Becky.
Hello. Oh.
That'd be kind of cool. Is that a frog? What is that? I don't know, my fish.
This is a lab hidden underneath the football stadium in Tucson, Arizona, and it's the only one capable of creating mirrors for the most powerful telescopes in a world that are accurate to less than how much your fingernails have grown in the last 30 seconds. That mirror lab is right here. And then down the street, right here, are the samples from that spacecraft that traveled 63 million kilometers away to an asteroid, grabbed a chunk of it, and brought them back to Earth. They're here. There's another lab in Tucson specifically looking at the rings of trees and dating them and using them to establish patterns in our Earth's and our solar system's histories. There's also a giant closed human-made ecosystem to simulate and study Earth called Biosphere 2. Biosphere 1 being Earth.
We're gonna go start our own biodome.
With blackjack and hookers.
One with the dome within a dome.
So this is Tucson. This is Kitt Peak. This is where Noir Lab has the largest and most diverse collection of research telescopes in the world. 3 of them are specifically made for the public to use, so I did. I took this. And I took this. This one right here is creating the largest 3D model of the universe. Here's part of it. It sees over 100,000 galaxies every single night. And this is part of the Astro Trail, which is just the best space locations all throughout the city. And of course, you can see the Milky Way. The entire city of Tucson has space embedded in it. I mean, this is where Vera Rubin herself did her research towards discovering dark matter. So it obviously has the best of space, but it's also worth noting that there's a national park in the city, so it has the best of Earth as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go check that out. That's pretty cool.
I don't know if you guys know this, but me and Dave actually have a third brother.
That is true. A lot of people think that him and Dave are not related. They are. I'm the third brother, the tallest, oldest, better hair, stronger brother.
I mean, we're obviously related.
As you can see, right? The resemblance is uncanny. Fun fact, we were all born with a pair of these glasses.
I have my high heels on, so normally I would be like right here. So
right.
We don't even have to explain this. They can look at us. And
no, really, they can.
Look at his hair, look at your hair, look at my hair.
I think we tricked them. I think they actually think we're related. All right. Who's getting lunch? Is it? Yeah.
That's on you, brother.
What's cooler? Professionalism and khakis. Oh, and doing your homework and wearing condoms.
Enjoying living the dream, man.
I've been walking for a while now. I think I'm getting pretty close to the pen.
They should be up here to the left soon. For those of you that don't know, I was sent a map on the dark web, and I'm trying to get to one of the locations that's pretty deep in the woods. I really feel like I'm starting to hear something. Like it sounds like people might be talking. Do you hear that?
I wonder if he's on
It's coming from everywhere.
that Randonautica app or whatever it is.
Trying to figure out what's making this noise, but it's getting super foggy. Can you guys hear that? I'm gonna try to stop the music right here and boost the audio if you can.
And I hope everybody's safe, or I hope everybody just gets to stay at home. That would be nice.
This recording of the moon is from a high-powered telescope on Earth. What is that moving around? Whatever it is, it's got to be massive because it just hit that crater. What is that? What's going on? UFO, baby. Strange shenanigans here on Earth and up on the moon. Shabadoo Bushkies. Shabadoo.
It is out on YouTube now, and let me just say it. Guys, I'm back.
What happened to his hair?
What was that? That was a tree. It literally cracked.
Yeah, that one's got to be AI. There's a couple that we got on
NASA just caught a tsunami from space for the first time ever, and they're saying that what they saw completely overturns everything that scientists thought they knew about how they work. Okay, so this is actually wild. NASA's SWOT satellite tracked a massive tsunami over an 8.8 magnitude earthquake off of Russia's K Peninsula. And by the way, this was one of the largest earthquakes that we've ever had since 1900. They're saying that for decades, scientists believe that tsunamis traveled as a single stable wave across the entire ocean. That's how literally every single warning system, every single model, and every single prediction has ever been built, but it turns out they were wrong. What NASA was actually able to capture from space showed something completely different. The tsunami didn't travel as one wave. They're saying that it scattered in chaotic, complex patterns, waves bouncing off of each other unpredictably, spreading like ripples colliding in a bathtub. The entire point of all of this is they're saying that the implications here are massive because our entire early warning system for coastal communities is based off of models that apparently don't even match reality. We've been understanding and thinking about tsunamis wrong this entire time up until now. The researchers are currently saying that this discovery could completely transform how we issue warnings and predict and prevent coastal damage. Do you guys understand how insane this is? This is actually good news. We thought we understood tsunamis, but we didn't.
Or maybe we just understand them better.
I'm telling you, people don't believe me. I'm telling you. People know me all over the world. All over the world. Kylie calls me on the regular.
Kylie Jenner?
Yeah, Kylie Jenner.
She calls
She
you.
looks
Calls
so
me personally
familiar.
on my fucking, like, this is my phone right here.
No fucking way.
Like, I don't even need a phone.
No way.
Yeah.
You know what dog food tastes like? Do you? It tastes just like it smells. Delicious.
Yep. Look at that. 2 days and it hasn't. And it's been what? Minus 10, minus 19 last night. And it worked.
That's cool.
If the electricity went out, the fire would be, it would keep us warm. And then if we turned on the fan, it would blow the heat into the kitchen, so then it would keep everything else warm too.
If the electricity went out.
Yeah.
So cute. No. Oh. Sorry, pup. Which one is better, the dog or the human?
Oh yes, I have to.
Oh, shoot. Got the double action.
Oh, I found a glitched person. Just wait. They look like they're running, right? They're not. They're staying in place. They've been there for like 2 minutes. What?
Y'all ever seen a frozen ocean? That shit crazy. This fucking view is spectacular. Oh, that shit ain't frozen over there, boy.
And sends it to the moon. Here's Hiroto's first run in the final.
Left foot forward, natural way of riding, going to rotate backside, turn his back to the takeoff right here.
It's insane.
Oh!
What's that?
Just like for you to be standing there and get that on camera is like impossible.
Oh, it's crazy.
I had no idea.
Oh my gosh, yes. See? It was crazy.
Can you see them? I literally just took a shower. And there's ants coming out of the shower head.
Helen Keller was a fraud, and people still mistake Anne Frank with Helen Keller for some reason. What? That last one don't even make any sense.
There's going to be a winter storm so cold that it's going to make trees explode. Literally explode.
I wonder if it's because it was such a quick, or if it's just the ice is so thick. Dangerous.
Oh, what the fuck? They got sleep too? What the fuck they coming out with next? Sleep.
Yo, this snow is killing me. This snow is killing me, bro. It's fucking... It's bad. Don't go outside. Don't go outside, please. This is a warning.
Boo, Glacier jump scare. You ever ask yourself what happened here? Was all this underwater or something? How did it get covered in that much ice? It's good thinking, but not quite. See, glaciers aren't really made out of like the ice cubes that you have in your freezer. They're actually made out of snow. They develop in places where snow accumulates faster than it melts. You've probably seen a snowstorm before, and you know, they can be pretty intense. Now I want you to imagine if that snow just never melted. Year after year, it just keeps piling up. As these layers build, it starts to get really heavy. This causes the layers of snow at the bottom to start to compress, ultimately being literally squeezed into a sheet of ice. Put into perspective what these layers added up to, the Laurentide ice sheet was more than a mile thick in some places. It was so unbelievably heavy that it literally compressed the crust of the earth underneath it, and there are parts of North America where the crust is still rising in a process known as isostatic rebound. Since these are made from frozen atmospheric water rather than just surface water, as the layers compress, it also preserves tiny little bubbles of air from the exact day that the snow fell, which is how scientists are able to use ice cores to learn about our past climates. If you also get excited about weird stuff like this, you should sauce me a follow for more. Send this to your friends so I can hit them with the classic.
Yeah, their sayings are always like that. Nuttier than an outhouse during the peanut festival.
I've seen pickles walk backwards faster than a turtle can jump up.
That dude is hilarious.
Ooh. Yeah, we're gonna... Fucking hell. We've got a...
We're on 16th Avenue and we're in like a flood. Right by the, right before the,
You may have heard that the icy blast set to hit the US could cause trees to explode. But is that true? Actually, not really. But when temperatures drop quite rapidly, as they will do, some of the moisture and sap inside the tree can expand quite rapidly. And that can cause massive cracks to appear in the tree, making a sound like gunshot, could cause branches to drop off as well. So it can have an impact, but it doesn't mean the trees quite explode.
Yeah, one of those videos looked like a 20
exploding tree.
We've been having the negative 20 wind chills here in Northwest Indiana, and the trees have been exploding everywhere with these winter storms. And this one's been making noise. I think it might be about to explode. Oh, never mind. False alarm.
Whew, boy,
I had to do it.
Let the frogs out, huh?
Yeah, baby. But I got the soda. Remy boys, they know us. All face money, no flow, boys. No one can control us. Hey, yeah, baby.
Shut up! Do, baby.
Honestly, the fact that the woods are your only reverb
Dude, that's God's verb right there.
God's verb. Like you have to put your hand up and you gotta
Hey, do y'all remember being a kid and seeing that shadow creature run beside the car when you went on road trips? This is a time where we didn't have phones to stare at all the time, so all we really could do is look out the window. And I remember seeing that shadow monster run beside the car. You know, it could have all just been our imaginations back then, because adults really don't have imaginary friends, but kids did. And if you are an adult with an imaginary friend, fucking good for you. I talk to people all the time who tell me they also saw that shadow monster. So did we lose that spectrum of our vision, or did we really just lose our imagination with our fucking baby teeth? You know, I hear people say that we're just growing out of it, or our brains develop that way, we don't see it anymore. But what if adulthood is actually our brains going backwards, and when we were kids, we were picking up the frequencies? Kids don't just invent imaginary friends, they argue with them, they blame them for things, they describe them with weirdly consistent rules. Maybe when we were kids, our brains had different frequencies, and we saw our imaginary friends because they're really there. Maybe sitting right in front of you while you're watching this video, literally breathing in your face, is your childhood imaginary friend. We say imaginary friends are a phase, but phases usually end because something replaces them. So maybe all those times where you feel like something's in the room with you, something's watching you, it's really that imaginary friend. Or you know, the government. The government's always watching too.
Well, I never could physically see anything outside the car. I just always thought, like, what if I was rollerblading out here, you know, or skateboarding? But some people can see physical items, you know, in their brain, whatever that term is called. So what if they're just mirroring themselves? Not necessarily a best friend or a imaginary friend, but They're just seeing themselves through their mind, like a really powerful. I've never had an imaginary friend. I'm crazy and weird, but never had an imaginary friend. What about y'all?
As a snake mom, nothing makes me happier. Seeing my baby girl sprawled out in the enclosure. I can't wait for this girl to poop. I'm so excited for her first poop. Nice.
Unleash the fury, Mitch.
Also, I spent the whole evening coming up with this light fixture on auto timers. So we have our 2 daytime lamps with UVA and UVB, and our 2 nighttime lamps, providing a warm day of basking for 12 hours and a slightly chillier nighttime for 12 hours.
Yes, I am the ultimate snake mom!
So, as it turns out, there is a form of collective consciousness. No, not like that. More like you have to have other people around you or you will actually go insane, and we'll talk about it. And this is a topic that actually really bothers me and has my whole life. When we are young, we start out with no experience. Remember when I said it's pretty easy to trick a 3-year-old? That's because they don't have a good understanding of what reality should be, and they rely on others around them to tell them. Turns out we do this our entire lives. Think about this. Have you ever reached for a light switch and found that there was not one there? Did you ever wonder if there was this time you ever would have noticed that it shouldn't be? Maybe, probably. Now imagine you have other people around you telling you that that light switch was always there. That's actually why gaslighting is pretty effective. Gaslighting is actually exploiting a cognitive tool that we need. Not convinced? What happens when people are in sensory deprivation chambers? When you are isolated from all your sensation, your brain is expecting something to be there, and without it coming in, it gets kind of bored, so it starts modeling it on its own, and people will see all sorts of interesting visuals. They might hear things. Interestingly enough, tinnitus has been linked to this. People who have hearing loss in particular, there's a lot of different things that can cause tinnitus. They tend to hear the same sounds as the hearing that they have lost. So if you've lost high frequencies, you'll hear that ringing. I do, all the time. Or if you've lost low frequencies, you might hear a rumble. It's thought that your brain kind of misses those sounds. They're not there, so it just makes them on its own because it's trying to fill in the gaps. This is the same principle behind the sensory deprivation chamber. Now, when we're talking about things like isolation can make people lose touch with reality. People who have been isolated for a very long period of time can hear voices. They tend to have derealization or feel as though they're not in their body. It's thought that this happens because we are constantly having to look to others to see how they are reacting to things and conversing with them so that we can remain grounded. It's also interesting to see what this will do with AI. People are more isolated than they've ever been before. But now they're relying on an artificial companion that will probably just agree with whatever you say. There have been better guardrails that have been put in place, but it's kind of a positive feedback mechanism. Madness of two, where two people amp each other up with their delusions. Yeah, that can happen with AI.
I am home alone with 2 cats. They don't have hands. I did not do that. I woke up to this in my bedroom. I know my room's messy, whatever. That's my bed. Woke up to that, saw it from across the room, and I am home alone.
Dang, sleepwalking.
What do I do here?
Man, they don't even want to be there. The ghosts, they're trying to get out.
Debunking American propaganda. I'm going to show you why I refuse to drink tap water, let alone let it touch my skin or hair. First time I saw this, it absolutely blew my mind, and I don't know why more people aren't talking about this. So we have this cup of water. We're going to pour it into this cup. So it's the same water in both cups. I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to just dip it in this cup. This is to imitate face washing, showering, anything that has to do when you're exposing yourself to tap water. And then this is a chlorine detector. It'll detect if there's chlorine present in our tap water. I'm going to put 5 drops in here. If it turns yellow, then that means that there's chlorine present. As you can see, it's starting to turn yellow. Chlorine is the main disinfectant that cities use to clean our tap water and kill it from bacteria. So almost all U.S. households' tap water contains chlorine. Okay, now we're going to test this cup, and we'll do 5 drops again. Give it a swirl, and as you can see, it's not turning yellow. Why? Because the chlorine is now on my hand. My hand absorbed the chlorine. And this is what happens every time you expose yourself to tap water. Chlorine is just one of the many contaminants found. There's also heavy metals from pipes, rust, lead, microplastics, and 200 plus unregulated chemicals because the EPA is super behind on regulations. No wonder why people have all these skin issues, hair shedding, even health issues from drinking tap water. This is why it's so important and why I highly recommend filtering your water with high quality water filters.
That's super alarming. Wow. Great test though. Wow. Awesome.
This particular smell that trees are producing, it's a terpene. It's a particular type of molecule that is released by plants. In particular, the one you get from Christmas trees is called pinene. As warm and cozy and comforting as it feels to humans, it's basically the smell of fear, Michael. That's essentially what we're smelling.
It's the tree experiencing some analog of fear and releasing that smell.
Some tree version of fear. That's what's all warm and cozy.
Oh no. Why do they release it to communicate to other trees, or is it an accidental emission while they're being harmed or something?
Well, I don't think it's accidental. I mean, I think it serves a very distinct purpose. So terpenes, they're this molecule is toxic, or at the very least, it's sort of very deeply unpleasant to lots of insects and fungi. So, if you're a bark beetle or a pine tree doesn't smell like Christmas, it smells like chemical warfare. It's sort of, you don't want to be anywhere near that. It's very, very nasty. The other thing that it does is it's a damage response. So if you, snap a branch or, you crush some needles, then the tree releases more of those chemicals. And there is an idea that actually trees are able to communicate with one another using these types of chemical. But essentially what you're doing then is you're sort of smelling the tree screaming.
That's wild to think. Super
Did
cool,
people
though.
purify salt 2,000 years ago without understanding chemistry, scooping evaporated seawater into pots, boiling over high heat? After water evaporates, you get coarse salt. However, this coarse salt contains many impurities. Add clean water to the salt and stir evenly until well mixed. Once the salt dissolves completely, filter the solution through gauze to remove any remaining visible impurities. This produces clarified salt water, though it still contains significant amounts of harmful magnesium chloride. Pour the mixture into a pot, add fresh soy milk, and stir evenly. As the mixture heats, proteins from the soy milk form flocks. These flocks absorb harmful substances like magnesium chloride. After the precipitation process is complete, pour the clear salt water from the top into a small pot and simmer gently. After water evaporates, you get pure fine salt.
What do you think are the happiest, best years of life? Well, a study of thousands of older adults who would definitely know reveals the answer. And it's definitely not what we're usually told. In 2021, the Department of Applied Economics at Vigo University in Spain looked at the responses to a survey given to more than 26,000 European seniors. And the overwhelming majority said that the best years of their lives were between 30 and 34. Now, personally, that period of my life was the messiest so far, but I must be an outlier because the researchers found this pattern was remarkably consistent. Seniors said that 30 to 34 was the best and that their happiness began to decline every year thereafter. That decline was where the only real difference showed up. Women said that their happiness declined much faster, whereas men said their post-34 happiness declined at a much slower rate, which researchers said suggests that men have an easier time with aging than women, which is certainly no surprise. These findings are in line with other studies of the matter, such as this one, where respondents said that they would rather be frozen in time in their 30s than their 20s any day. So what's so great about the 30s? Well, there's a sort of sweet spot balance between youthful energy and adult stability. You still feel physically good, your career's on the upswing, your relationships are building, but you've shed the messiness and naivete of your younger years. Of course, not everyone's 30s were halcyon days, mine certainly weren't, but regardless, seems the way we like to revere our 20s or going in the other direction, say things like life begins after 50, might both be wrong, and the actual answer lies somewhere in the middle.
That thing's all over the place. I don't know.
And New Yorkers have got to be scratching their heads saying,
what's with the sixes? This is what I'm talking about. This is what I was working on, Gail, when I ran in here. Think about this. 1996, all right? We had a storm that delivered 20.2 inches, the 5th biggest in city history. 10 years later, 2006, we pick up our 2nd biggest snowstorm ever, 26.9. 10 years after that, 2016, we pick up the biggest snowstorm in New York City history, 27.5. What does 10 years later, this Sunday, on 2026 hold? We shall find out, Gail.
Oh my God, Chicago kicks ass.
I'll let you know. That was
I hope I can
last
get it on
night.
video. We just had Thundersnow.
Man, it looked like it was raining. I mean, it looked like rain, but it was actual sleet.
Thundersnow!
That's what I said. Oh, sleet, 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 sleet.
Have you ever thought that weathermen plant the seed for us to manifest the weather? So if our perception creates our reality, if the weathermen are telling a huge group of people that the weather is going to be a certain way, we all see that and believe it and manifest it. So if we just didn't have weathermen, like, I wonder what would happen, because I was just thinking about this big storm. Like, if we all just collectively imagined it being warm and like a regular day, like if we could change the weather. Just a question.
I'm gonna make a snowball.
And this is how it is.
My jacket.
Like, I tried to have my daughter make a snowman. And that's what we got. You know? Give us better snow.
Does your life suck? Nobody loves you? Are you married to a ugly motherfucker? You need to have you a guru, a shaman of such. So subscribe to DeAndre's good-ass life advice. I lie on you, but I would never lie to you. Man, I seen all these life coaches making $23,000 for advice, bitch. All I want is $5,000 plus gratuity, and I'll tell you whatever you want to hear. You ain't even fat. Everybody's feet hurt. It's in your moment of decision that destiny is shaped like a fat ass. Damn, I love fat ass. Yeah, man, at the shop, they feel their energy is changing. Bitch, all I did was turn the heat up. You know them rock-slanging bitches be premenopausal. If you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always got. So change, you crazy bitch. In my office is a picture of me and friends on top of Mount Kilimanjaro. Bitch, I ain't never climbed no mountain. That's AI. I don't even know them white folks that I'm hugging on in the picture. If you can't, you must. And if you must, you can. And if you mustn't, you can leave, you stinking ass bitch.
Matt McCusker, you need to get him on. He's cool. Shamans unite.
Princess Diana was unalived by the royal family because she knew something very dark.
Apparently, about a month before Princess Diana had her accident, she said to a close friend that the royal family are not human, but they are reptiles from the Alpha Draconis star system. Hello, what? Okay, I had to look that up, okay? It's in the shape of a lizard.
Similar.
I don't know what the heck that means. I don't know anymore. This is my driver, and they're weirdly related to Vlad the Impaler, who is a vampire, and reptiles are known cannibals. So that's interesting. Here we go. Anyways.
Stay weird.
That was my driver.
Nice one. That's,
Bro, can anybody tell me what the fuck this device is on this, on this SUV right here?
That's a Ghostbuster in training.
Is that bit of Ticketmaster or what?
Not to be a conspiracy theorist or nothing, but did y'all notice how the government was talking about that nobody was spending enough money since Christmas and the economy was down? And then next thing you know, we was having a mystery winter storm and everybody had to hurry up and go to the store and buy a bunch of groceries real fast and spend up all the money that they didn't really have to stimulate the economy. Right after the stock market had crashed, then next thing you know, inconveniently the storm was supposed to be further south, and so they had everybody in the southern parts of Tennessee and everyone buying up everything, and then the storm suddenly moved further north, and so they had everybody north buying stuff, and it's just a coincidence that they was complaining about how nobody was spending money, and then that the stock market had crashed and everything, and then next thing you know, we was having a winter storm, and then everybody had to buy up everything, and all the groceries had sold out, and everybody spent all their money up on a bunch of stuff to prepare for a storm coming. Isn't that funny? I mean, I don't believe in conspiracy theories or anything. I'm just saying, I just thought that was just so funny.
She has very pretty teeth. This looks like something spinning, right? He's obviously zoomed in far. I guess we're gonna start seeing a lot more weird looking UAPs this year, and they just won't care.
What is that?
Where's the sound at?
There's a fucking thing just floating around out here, man. That's crazy.
Okay.
Adelanto.
He is really focusing.
We never truly value a moment until it becomes a memory. Honestly, I see this in the hospital all the time. There is nobody on their deathbed that wishes they worked harder or more. Nobody. And the biggest realization that people make on their deathbed is that happiness is a choice. And that doesn't mean pretending to be happy or denying pain. It is all about recognizing that you cannot always control their circumstances, but you can control your response and your interpretation. Every day you either feed peace and gratitude or you feed resentment and fear. And over time, these choices, they compound, and for many, that realization, unfortunately, doesn't come until very late in life. So don't let that be you.
Word.
LeBron, do you queef when you blink? I'm LeBron James, hellline. Doof, doof, doof. I'm LeBron James, hellline. LeBron, do you queef when you blink? I'm LeBron James, hellline. Doof, doof, doof. I'm LeBron James, hellline.
What? I started watching this. I was laughing so hard. I got an ab workout. I almost peed myself. Oh my gosh, man. I was trying to figure out what they're using.
So this is a photo that was taken over the weekend, I believe, at a vampire bar in New Orleans. If you guys are new here, I speak about vampires all the time. So what we have a picture of here is an actual immortal vampire. This is the vampire that has skipped over the second passing and has achieved immortality. If you have ever read the book by John Greer that I always recommend named Monster, this is exactly what he describes a immortal vampire to look like. You see, there's two different types of vampires. There's mortal vampires that are participating in Luciferian rituals in order to achieve immortality, and there's vampires that have gone through the immortality ritual in order to skip over the second passing because they feel as though their job on Earth is not done. As you can see, a vampire looks very different from a ghost, and I'm going to explain why. Immortal vampires will mostly have more structure and look more human than an actual ghost. They come through as very fleshy, bright, misty, etheric energy, whereas ghosts cannot hold the same form. Before anybody gets freaked out, immortal vampires are also very, very rare, especially in the United States. If you guys are ever traveling to New Orleans, Salem, Massachusetts, they have these vampire bars all around there. So please be careful. And I also have seen them start popping up in Tampa, in Los Angeles, and in New York City.
I'm gonna have to go check that out. Yeah, one day whenever, my kid's out of the house, I would go travel everywhere and go try and look, check those places out. Kind of be like a ghost
Y'all
hunter.
seen Guy Fieri? I scrolled past this post. I had to do a quadruple take. Ain't no way the mayor of Flavortown unflavored all himself. This is real though. This is what Guy did to celebrate his 58th birthday. I don't know if it's a midlife crisis, if it's a turning over a new leaf. Guy, we respected you for who you were. This new guy, I wouldn't trust nothing you recommended on the Food Network, your private network, whatever you shooting on now. Spiked hair all day, chains hang low. Do they wobble to the flow? We need the old guy back. That would be like me getting on the internet without a hat or glasses and pronouncing words correctly and not having a lisp. All my soul gone.
Yeah, that'd be like me talking normal. Does he look kind of like John Wayne Gacy? They should have cast him instead of the other guy, even though he's slated.
Be curious with me real quick. There is a hypothesis that our universe is inside of a black hole. Realize that a black hole is not an object that you could touch, right? It's not like a black material. If you went up and stuck your hand in, you wouldn't feel anything. You'd never get your hand back. Your hand's connected to the rest of your body, so you're just cooked. But that event horizon, that black part, it's just space. There's not stuff there. The space is so warped that no information can ever come back. You could think of anything that goes into a black hole as being lost to this universe forever, maybe. I say maybe because we think Hawking radiation exists, so black holes evaporate over time, which I think is sort of a wrinkle in the black hole universe hypothesis. Some ideas that when a black hole forms, it's not that the space-time just ends, but potentially expands into something new, a new baby universe, something like a white hole, which is conceptually the exact opposite of a black hole. Black hole, you get too close and you can never escape. A white hole, when it starts, won't let anything remain where it began. I want to reiterate that this is speculative, but some would say that the Big Bang, the start of our universe, was similar to a white hole. And as space and time were created, they have been expanding ever since. If this sequence is actually true, a black hole in one universe leads to a white hole or the creation of new space-time in another universe, then our entire universe could be in the interior of a black hole of some other parent universe. You may ask, well, where did that universe come from? And if this is right, I'd just say that it came from the black hole of its parent universe. And so you see that you never really get to the end of the questions. The reason some people take this seriously is because if you sum up all of the mass, all of the matter, all the stuff that we know of in our universe, it is about the mass that you would expect for a black hole that was the size of our observable universe. That's an interesting coincidence, I will say. That's definitely not any sort of proof, but it does titillate the mind. But if we did live in a black hole, we would probably expect to see specific distortions in the structure of the universe. We'd expect strong directional effects. A black hole has a center, so you would expect things to be distorted in a very specific way. We may also expect to see certain rotation signatures, but we don't see those things. When we look at the universe in every single direction, no matter how far we look, we see uniformity. We call it homogeneity. The universe is homogeneous. homogeneous. It looks the same in every direction. So I think the black hole universe theory is very satisfying to me personally. I mean, it says where our universe came from. Came from a black hole in another universe. But, you know, nature doesn't care what I find satisfying. It's pretty speculative. There's not much evidence for it. Definitely a cool idea, though.
Yeah, that one's weird.
Let's see what it does. Look at that, I can compress it. Now, I give it a little bit of a vibration so that it sort of balances out. Yeah, friction's a little bit high here. But if I continue pushing down, hopefully this doesn't explode again, I can get the gas to compress. See that? It actually gets really hard to compress at this point. I'm putting a lot of pressure on there and I'm having to hold it down with my fingers here. Let's vibrate the particles again to get them all balanced out to where they should be. There you go, you see the average distance between them is now shrunk. Alright, let's let this come back up a little bit. Okay, now it's stuck. There we go. Alright, and as I vibrate it, the gas comes back up out of there. So this actually kind of shows you why the speed of sound is dependent on the velocity of the particles. You see, if they're not vibrating around, I release the pressure, they don't move, right? They don't come out to fill the gap until I give them a little bit of a motion. Then they'll start to move.
Can you actually do that behind it?
I can try. Then they'll move to fill the space that has now been given to them. Might be easier just to kind of give them a shake here. And that is, of course, why the speed of sound depends on the temperature of the gas, not the pressure. So the vibration of the molecules that allow them to jiggle out and move into the space. It's not the pressure or the distance between them. That stuff doesn't really matter. It does a little bit, but not a whole lot. This thing is a fun little toy. I might put a top over this.
So gas expands to fill its space, but it's not filling its entire space.
Man, I love these videos. Watch this guy's face. I don't know if he's playing with someone online, but even that character's like, what? It's like, wait a minute. Man, this guy's cheating. Get out of here.
These ants are performing surgery. It was recently observed in carpenter ants that if an ant's leg gets injured, other ants will recognize the wound and perform treatment. If the injury is below the knee, they'll only trim and clean the wound to preserve a usable appendage, which increased survival odds from 15 to 75%. If it's above the knee, they'll cleanly and precisely amputate the entire leg. In those cases, survival odds increased from 20 to 90%.
What are you trying to get into today, bro? What are you feeling?
I can feel a pop song.
A pop song?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up on a lot of Bruno, a lot of MJ.
They were saying they were getting Bruno Mars vibes from you. Maybe the jacket, too.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking like a swing, like the... You down to do that?
I'm down.
I'm going to try to not rip off Michael Jackson too hard. It's like a 6/8 kind of feel, which I feel like I usually don't get to make, so I got excited.
I've been floating. Baby, I got the motive. Girl, don't you know this? She travels round the world. Sometimes she tends to lose it. Oh, I had a dream, I had to believe it. For the music, she's wet just like an ocean. I give her the motion. I'm the one, not the two. She wants me to believe in you. She says, is it you and I? Said, baby, yes, you and I. Don't you lie. Don't waste your time now. Don't you walk away from me. Yeah, baby. I'm too high right now. She just wants the mountain. Say that thing, yeah.
It's a voice. Have a good day, y'all. Well, hey, thank y'all so much for tuning in to another Bryce is Right. I hope y'all have a great freaking week. Stay warm, stay safe, and hopefully you enjoyed today's show. Y'all know what to do. Go ahead and smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't so you don't miss out on any future content. And please leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let us know what's up. Now, since it's getting close to the end of the month and I'm starting to make more of a presence on Instagram, like I said, be sure and go on there and add me. And I'll be posting like the last day of the month, you know, for people to go in and add their names to. And that's where I'll be pulling a submission and doing the raffle, of course, or, you know, however I do it. Using whichever website to scramble up y'all's names and pick one winner. And of course, we want that winner to be inside the United States, because every other time I've done this, it's been outside the United States, and it's super hard to ship to some of those locations. I want to keep doing this. It's nothing against anybody outside the US. It's just, I don't want to make anybody upset if it goes weary wrong, and I don't trust anybody, so I don't want anything to go wrong. Like I said, I want to keep doing this. I had one mishap, and I want to stop doing the giveaways, and I don't want one encounter to disrupt everybody else's good time. And be on the lookout. Be sure you like this video. Go add me on Instagram, and we'll start doing some giveaways. So yeah, it might just be easier for me to keep up with. All right, well, y'all have a great day. Stay warm. We'll see you next time. All right, y'all. Peace.
Hey, Randy, what are you doing back there? Like, my bad, man. It's killing time.